This is Workers' Comp Matters, hosted by attorney Alan S. Pierce, the only legal talk network program that focuses entirely on the people and the law in workers' compensation cases. Nationally recognized trial attorney, expert, and author, Alan S. Pierce is a leader committed to making a difference when workers' comp matters.
Welcome to the Legal Talk Network. This is Alan Pierce. This is Workers' Comp Matters, and I am glad to have you listen to us today. We have done many shows regarding workers' compensation issues. I am a practicing attorney. I have an office in Salem, Massachusetts, and I have been representing injured workers and their families in claims involving workers' compensation, Social Security, disability, and related topics. Today's guest is Dr. Patrice Whipple, and I became acquainted with our guest because I was reading a law journal that reviewed a book, and it was a book by Dr. Whipple, and it was a book, the title of which intrigued me. The title of the book is Depraved Indifference, the Workers' Compensation System. And I was sufficiently interested in the subject to contact Dr. Whipple and ask her to be a guest on our show. I have read her book, and it is must-reading for anyone that wants to have a better understanding of some of the flaws in the workers' compensation system. So with that said, I'd like to introduce our guest, Dr. Patrice Whipple. She is a person who has had a career in hospital, healthcare, and mental health administration. She has served on many community and state boards and as a board officer. She's also been involved in many civil rights and human rights issues over the years. Dr. Whipple, thank you for joining us today on Workers' Comp Matters.
Thank you for inviting me, Alan.
Well, let me get right to the title. It's a provocative title, Depraved Indifference. This is a term that is familiar to many of us. Those of us who watch Law and Order seem to see somebody is charged with the felony of depraved indifference every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And how does that title fit into the workers' comp system?
The title, depraved indifference, that phrase, comes from New York State Penal Law 125.25, which defines murder in the second degree, an A1 felony, under circumstances evincing a depraved indifference to human life. He or she recklessly engages in conduct which creates a grave risk of death to another person and thereby causes the death of another person.
Okay, I know in your book, and those of us who practice in the field, we know there are a great number of injuries and deaths that occur every day in the workplace, many of which could have been avoided. Is
Yes.
this the source of your desire to put this together in a book?
Yes. I want to discuss it from 2 points.
Go right ahead.
The first is how I began this. I asked what I thought was a simple question, which is, what happens to injured workers 1 year, 5 years, 10 years out? And I expected that I was going to be able to get answers to that from